Have you noticed that simple things feel just a little harder these days? Maybe the stairs seem steeper than they used to, or standing up from a soft chair takes a few more seconds than before. And walking, even short distances, sometimes leaves your legs feeling heavy, stiff, or just not as strong. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many people over 50 experience this gradual weakness in the legs. It sneaks in slowly. One day you're walking fine, the next, you're holding on to furniture for balance or avoiding walks altogether. Most people chalk it up to just getting older. But what if I told you that aging isn't the only reason? In fact, there's a quiet mistake most seniors make every single day without realizing it. A mistake made in the name of eating healthy. Yes, I'm talking about fruit. That colorful bowl of goodness on your kitchen counter. While fruits offer vitamins and fiber, some of them could silently be making your legs weaker, stiffer, and more prone to pain. That's why in today's video, we're going to reveal the 10 worst fruits for your legs and joints. Fruits that might look innocent but could be silently working against you. If this video speaks to your experience, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps more than you think, and it tells us we're not alone in this journey. Let's start with one fruit that many believe is a tropical superfood: pineapple. It's sweet, juicy, and often recommended for digestion thanks to its natural enzyme called bromelain. But here's the catch. Bromelain can also stimulate inflammation in certain individuals, especially when consumed frequently or in large portions. You might be thinking, isn't inflammation supposed to be reduced by fruit? Yes. But not all fruits act the same in every body. For some people over 50, especially those with already sensitive joints or mild arthritis, pineapple can cause a noticeable flare-up of symptoms. That includes dull, aching pain in the knees, throbbing around the ankles, and even a strange feeling of stiffness in the feet after walking. The sharp natural acids in pineapple can also irritate the lining of the stomach, which indirectly impacts joint health. Why? Because when your digestion is compromised, so is nutrient absorption, meaning your joints don't get the support they need. What's more, many seniors eat pineapple thinking they're doing something good for their bodies, but they may not realize it's contributing to the very discomfort they're trying to avoid. You might notice a pattern: your knees feeling heavier after a fruit salad, or your feet swelling slightly after a pineapple smoothie. If any of that sounds familiar, it might be time to reconsider pineapple, at least until your inflammation is under control. Let's move on to the next fruit, one that hides behind its reputation for being refreshing and hydrating. Now let's talk about a summer favorite: watermelon. It's cool, refreshing, and made up of over 90% water. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the hidden danger. Watermelon has a very high glycemic index. That means it can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar and insulin levels right after you eat it, especially when eaten alone or in large slices. What does this mean for your legs? That sugar spike might give you a quick burst of energy, but what follows is often a crash. And for older adults, that crash can show up as heaviness in the legs, fatigue or soreness in the knees, tingling or numbness in the feet, especially after sitting for a while. Some seniors have even described a strange sense of leg fog, or feeling off balance after eating watermelon regularly, particularly in the afternoons. And here's the tricky part. Because it's so light and juicy, it's very easy to overeat. A few pieces become half the fruit before you realize it. And since watermelon lacks fiber or healthy fats to slow sugar absorption, your blood sugar ends up on a roller coaster. For people managing prediabetes, diabetes, or poor circulation in the lower body, that roller coaster can mean worsening joint stiffness and delayed recovery after walking or standing. So if you find yourself feeling drained, unsteady, or swollen after enjoying a bowl of watermelon, your body might be sending a clear message. Coming up next, a fruit often praised for its vitamin C, but it might not be as innocent as it seems. Oranges seem like one of the healthiest fruits you could eat. They're packed with vitamin C, refreshing, and have that breakfast sunshine feeling. But for seniors, especially those with sensitive joints or circulation issues, oranges might not be as gentle as they appear. Here's why. Oranges are high in natural sugar, particularly fructose, a type of sugar that can quietly affect the tiny blood vessels in your extremities. Over time, repeated fructose intake can lead to microinflammation in the legs and feet. And that's not all. Many older adults who regularly drink orange juice report tingling or numbness in the soles of their feet, subtle swelling in the knees or ankles, a heaviness that sets in after meals. Why is this happening? Unlike eating a whole orange, drinking orange juice floods your system with sugar quickly, without the fiber that slows down absorption. That leads to blood sugar swings, which contribute to inflammation and poor circulation. Two major culprits behind foot discomfort and leg fatigue. Even whole oranges, when eaten in excess or without balancing foods like protein or fiber, can have this effect, especially in people with metabolic sensitivity. If you notice that your legs feel puffier or your knees ache more than usual after breakfast that included orange juice or a couple of oranges, it's not just coincidence. Your body might be telling you, this fruit doesn't serve me right now. Let's move on now to a tropical duo that's dangerously sweet. Lychee and longan are delicious. There's no doubt about it. Juicy, fragrant, and bursting with sweetness. They remind many of summer days and family gatherings. But for seniors, these little fruits can be a trap for your joints and nerves. Let's take a closer look. These tropical delights are extremely high in sugar, especially glucose and sucrose. That means a rapid spike in blood sugar levels, especially dangerous for anyone dealing with diabetes, prediabetes, or joint inflammation. But what really surprises many people is this. After eating a handful of lychees or longans, they start to feel hot, restless, or even tingly in their arms and legs. That's no coincidence. Traditional medicine describes these fruits as heaty, meaning they can raise internal warmth. And in modern terms, that translates to increased inflammation, sleep disturbances, a heavy, stiff feeling in the knees and hips, mild burning or itching sensations in hands and feet. It's especially tricky because lychee and longan are so easy to eat in large amounts. They're small, bite-sized, and feel light, but just 10 to 15 pieces can deliver more sugar than a can of soda. Worse yet, many people eat them in the evening when the body is slowing down. That sugar sits, ferments, and worsens overnight swelling, making your legs feel bloated and tight the next morning. So, while they may look innocent in your fruit bowl, lychee and longan are often secret saboteurs, especially for aging joints and circulation. Now, let's take a look at another fruit that many people think is healthy, but may be quietly irritating your feet and ankles. Oh, mangoes. Soft, sweet, juicy. They're often called the king of fruits. But for many people over 60, mangoes can be a royal pain. Literally. Here's what you need to know. A single medium-sized mango contains up to 45 grams of natural sugar. That's more than 11 teaspoons. And while it's natural, your body doesn't always care. That sugar still causes a sharp rise in blood glucose, followed by an inflammatory response. You may not feel it right away, but give it an hour or two. Suddenly your feet feel tight in your slippers. Your ankles feel a little puffy. There's a dull ache in your knees or a burning sensation under your toes. You start to wonder, did I walk too much today? But the truth might be in that sweet yellow fruit. Here's why mangoes are risky for older adults. They are very low in fiber, which means sugar hits your bloodstream fast. They're soft and easy to overeat, especially when blended into smoothies or eaten on hot days. They contain uric acid-promoting compounds, which can make conditions like gout worse over time. Many seniors with foot pain, stiff ankles, or morning swelling don't realize it may be connected to that evening mango they enjoyed for dessert. The worst part? Mango feels healthy. It tastes tropical. It's rich in vitamins. But for sensitive joints, mango can quietly cause fluid retention, joint irritation, and inflammation in the feet, ankles, and even wrists. If you've ever felt a little more sluggish after a mango-rich day, you're not imagining it. And now, let's move on to another surprise culprit. One that many people eat when they're trying to be good. Let's talk about green apples. Green apples have that crisp, tart bite that many of us love. They're often seen as the healthier apple choice, lower in sugar, high in fiber, and full of antioxidants. But here's the thing, even healthy apples can have unexpected effects on aging joints, especially when eaten the wrong way. Let's break it down. Green apples are rich in malic acid, a natural compound that gives them their sour flavor. For most people, this is no problem. But for adults with sensitive joints or underlying inflammatory conditions, malic acid can irritate already inflamed tissues. What does that feel like? You eat a green apple on an empty stomach, maybe as a quick snack or part of a light lunch, and a few hours later, you feel tightness in your calves, or a dull ache in your thighs or behind the knees. Some describe it as a pulling sensation in the legs, especially when walking upstairs. Here's why. Malic acid may worsen symptoms of inflammatory arthritis or joint sensitivity. Green apples have enough sugar to spike blood glucose when eaten alone, especially in older adults with slower metabolism. If eaten without protein or fiber, they can lead to sugar crashes, leaving you feeling fatigued, heavy, or sore. You might be thinking, but apples are good for me. Yes, they can be, especially red apples, which tend to be less acidic and gentler on the digestive system. But green apples, when eaten alone or in excess, might aggravate joint stiffness, cause minor swelling, and contribute to lower limb discomfort, especially if you're already dealing with circulation issues. If you enjoy apples, consider pairing them with a slice of cheese, some nuts, or yogurt to slow the sugar absorption and protect your joints. Now, from something crisp and sour, let's move to something small, sweet, and dangerously addictive. It's time to talk about dried fruits. They seem innocent, small, chewy, and often packed into so-called healthy snack mixes. Dried fruits like raisins, dates, figs, apricots, and dried cranberries are everywhere. But when it comes to your legs, circulation, and joints, these tiny treats may be doing more harm than good. Let's take a closer look. When fruit is dried, the water is removed, but all the sugar remains, and it becomes highly concentrated. Just a small handful of dried fruit can contain the sugar of 3 or 4 whole fruits, without the water and fiber that normally help your body process it more slowly. What does this do to your body? Sudden blood sugar spikes, which lead to insulin surges and energy crashes. Water retention. Too much sugar encourages your body to hold on to fluids, especially in the lower legs and ankles. Increased inflammation. The natural sugars, like fructose and glucose, can trigger inflammatory responses in the knees, calves, and feet. Circulation issues. High sugar levels affect blood vessel function, making it harder for blood to flow efficiently to your extremities. You might feel legs that feel heavy or stiff after walking, a sense of tightness around the ankles, dull aching in the calves at night, or even a feeling like your feet are full or swollen. And here's the tricky part. Dried fruits are too easy to overeat. They're small, sweet, and often eaten mindlessly while watching TV, reading, or on the go. It's easy to eat 10 dates or a handful of dried figs without realizing it, delivering the sugar of several whole fruits in minutes. If you love dried fruit, try limiting it to very small amounts, always paired with protein or healthy fat, like a few nuts, and never on an empty stomach. But if you're already struggling with leg discomfort, consider switching to fresh, low-sugar fruits that support circulation and joint health. Up next, a fruit that looks harmless, but may be one of the worst offenders for joint pain at night, especially in your feet and knees. At first glance, grapes look harmless. They're juicy, easy to eat, and often considered a light snack. But for seniors dealing with foot and knee discomfort, especially pain that gets worse at night, grapes may be quietly making things worse. Let's explore why. Grapes are extremely high in natural sugars, especially fructose. Now, your body doesn't treat fructose the same way it treats glucose. Instead of using it directly for energy, your body sends fructose to the liver, where it gets converted into fat. And more importantly for this conversation, into uric acid. Why is uric acid a problem? Because high uric acid levels are directly linked to joint pain, gout, and inflammation. This means that even if you don't have full-blown gout, regularly eating grapes can quietly raise your uric acid levels, and over time, trigger soreness in your feet, especially around the big toe and the balls of your feet. Painful, swollen knees, especially after long walks or standing for extended periods. Disrupted sleep due to nighttime joint pain, a very common issue in people who consume grapes often. A heavy or burning feeling in the legs, particularly after dinner or evening snacks. It doesn't stop there. Grapes are also easy to overeat. A single cup of grapes may seem harmless, but it can contain over 20 grams of sugar, and most people eat far more than that in one sitting. And if you enjoy grape juice or raisins, the sugar load is even more intense. It's no wonder many seniors who snack on grapes, especially in the evening, notice that their legs feel stiff and their feet ache when they wake up the next morning. If you love grapes, the key is moderation. Try to limit your portion, eat them earlier in the day, and always combine them with a bit of protein. But if your legs or knees are giving you trouble, it might be time to skip the grapes altogether and choose something more joint-friendly. Now, coming up next is a fruit that many people consider gentle and harmless, but may quietly contribute to fatigue, stiffness, and even water retention in your legs. Pears are often viewed as one of the gentlest fruits. They're soft, hydrating, and even recommended for digestion. But for many seniors, especially those dealing with slow circulation, joint stiffness, or leg fatigue, pears might not be the innocent fruit they seem. Let's look closer. Yes, pears are rich in fiber, and that's a good thing. But here's what most people don't realize. Pears also contain a significant amount of natural sugars, particularly fructose, which we talked about earlier. While one pear won't hurt, eating it alone or on an empty stomach can spike blood sugar, especially in sensitive individuals. And when blood sugar rises quickly, several things happen. You may feel tired or sluggish shortly afterward. Your body can retain fluid, especially in your lower legs and ankles. The small blood vessels in your feet and knees may not respond well, leading to mild inflammation and soreness. But there's another hidden factor with pears. In traditional medicine systems, pears are often considered to have a cooling or cold energy. Now, while this concept isn't often discussed in Western medicine, many seniors can feel its effects, especially in colder months or in the morning. They describe it as tightness in the knees, especially when trying to stand up, chills in the legs, even if the room feels warm. Joint stiffness, particularly when pears are eaten without warming foods like protein or healthy fats. Some seniors even report feeling tingly or numb in their feet and toes after eating a large pear. The real issue here isn't that pears are inherently bad. It's that they're often eaten in the wrong way, alone, on an empty stomach, or without balance. If you still enjoy pears, here's how to protect your joints. Pair them with a handful of walnuts or a piece of cheese, which slows down sugar absorption. Avoid eating them late at night or on cold mornings. And most importantly, listen to your body. If your legs feel heavier or more tired after a pear snack, your body is sending a message. Now, we're down to the final fruit on our list. The one most people eat every single day, often thinking it's the healthiest of all. But for seniors with leg pain, cramping, or poor flexibility, this popular fruit might just be the worst offender of them all. Bananas. Soft, convenient, full of potassium. It's the go-to fruit for breakfast, smoothies, and snacks. You may have been told all your life that bananas are heart-healthy and great for your muscles. But here's what nobody tells you. Bananas can be problematic for many seniors, especially if you're experiencing cramps in the calves, swollen feet or ankles, unsteady steps or heaviness in the legs. Let's break this down. Bananas, especially when fully ripe, are loaded with natural sugars and fast-absorbing starches. That combination raises blood sugar quickly, and in older adults, that spike often comes with a crash, leaving you feeling drained, foggy, or even shaky. And it gets worse. Because of their high carbohydrate load and low fiber, especially when overly ripe, bananas can cause your body to retain more fluid, leading to puffiness in the ankles, that heavy leg feeling when you try to get up from a chair, or even reduced flexibility in the knees and toes. You might say, but I thought bananas were good for cramps. Here's the catch. Yes, they contain potassium, but they also lack magnesium, which works alongside potassium to prevent cramping. Worse, the sugar and starch in bananas can cause imbalances in your electrolyte system, triggering cramps instead of relieving them. Especially if you eat bananas after being slightly dehydrated or without other mineral-rich foods. And if you're someone who eats bananas alone, especially first thing in the morning, uses them in high-sugar smoothies, or has a tendency to eat more than one banana a day, then your joints may already be feeling the consequences without you realizing it. Many seniors report that after switching away from bananas, the swelling in their legs reduced, their walking improved, and nighttime cramps faded away. Now, this doesn't mean bananas are evil, but at this stage of life, your body's response to certain fruits changes. Bananas might have served you well at 40, but at 65, they may be silently setting you back. So, what should you do instead? Don't worry. That's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Because while we've covered the 10 most surprising fruits that could be weakening your legs, it's time for the good news. The fruits that can soothe your joints, energize your steps, and help your body feel alive again. Let's move into that right now. Let's take a deep breath. Because now, instead of removing things, we're going to add in fruits that actively support your body. Fruits that bring relief, not inflammation. You deserve to feel strong in your steps again, and these 5 fruits are gentle allies for your joints, muscles, and circulation. 1. Berries, the tiny but mighty healers. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. They're low in sugar, high in antioxidants, and full of anti-inflammatory compounds that soothe joint tissues and improve circulation. What makes berries so unique is their polyphenols, plant chemicals that reduce stiffness and help your blood vessels relax and widen, enhancing blood flow to your feet and legs. A handful of berries in the morning, or as a snack can. Reduce swelling in the ankles. improve movement in stiff knees, and calm down inflammation that causes those nagging aches. Plus, their fiber helps keep your blood sugar stable. No wild swings, no crashes. And yes, they're delicious. 2. Cherries, your joint's best friend. Especially tart cherries, like Montmorency cherries, are known for their ability to lower uric acid levels in the blood, a key trigger of joint pain and gout, particularly in the feet and big toes. Drinking a small glass of unsweetened cherry juice or adding fresh cherries to your breakfast can help. Relieve pain in arthritic joints, reduce nighttime foot discomfort, and promote deeper sleep, which supports joint healing. For many seniors, switching from sugary fruits, like lychees or mango, to cherries brings visible improvements in leg flexibility and less soreness when walking. It's like giving your joints a cooling hug from the inside out. 3. Avocado, the anti-inflammatory superfruit. Yes, avocado is a fruit, and an incredible one at that. Rich in healthy fats, potassium, and anti-inflammatory compounds, avocados are unique because they support cartilage repair, stabilize blood sugar, avoiding sharp drops that lead to weakness, and promote cellular healing in the soft tissues around your knees, ankles, and hips. What's more, their creamy texture makes them easy to digest and satisfying, reducing cravings for sugary fruits that could make your joints worse. Half an avocado a day in a salad or mashed on whole grain toast can do more for your mobility than you might imagine. And no, eating fat doesn't make you gain fat. In fact, the right fats can reduce water retention and inflammation, keeping your legs light and agile. 4. Papaya, gentle, healing, and great for digestion. Papaya contains a special enzyme called papain, which acts like a natural pain reliever inside your body. Papain helps break down proteins that trigger inflammation and joint irritation. At the same time, papaya is easy on the stomach, making it ideal if you struggle with digestion issues alongside leg pain. Eating a few slices of ripe papaya a few times per week can ease morning stiffness in the knees, help your muscles recover after walking, and support your gut health, which is closely linked to joint inflammation. It's sweet, but not too sweet, and it won't spike your blood sugar like bananas or dried fruit. Think of papaya as a soothing balm that starts working from the inside out, a new way to look at fruit. None of this is about fear, it's about wisdom. As we age, the body becomes more sensitive. What helped you in your 40s might now hold you back in your 60s or 70s. That's not failure. It's simply evolution. Every fruit has its place. But some are healing for aging joints, while others silently add to the burden. Now that you know which fruits to embrace, you're already taking back control. So what's next? Let's tie everything together with a quick recap and talk about the small actions you can take starting today. So, here we are. Who would have thought that something as innocent as fruit, something we've been told is always healthy, could be holding us back? But now you know better. It's not about cutting out fruit altogether. It's about choosing the right ones for your body today. Your legs, your joints, your energy. They all respond to what you feed them. And the best part? It's never too late. You still have time to feel stronger, steadier, more mobile. One fruit, one meal, one small decision at a time. If this video helped you understand your body a little more, go ahead and type 1 in the comments. And if it didn't quite connect, type 0. We'd also love to hear. What fruit will you swap out first? What change are you ready to make? Hit like, subscribe to HealthVibe 365, and turn on notifications so we can keep supporting your healthy journey, step by steady step. Because remember, your independence, your freedom, is carried by your legs, Let's keep them strong, together.